Hi, it's Lee from ColouringQueen.net. Last year when I reviewed this book, I thought there would never be another book that gave me the tingles as much as this one. Just gave me the creeps even thinking of it on my shelf. But of course I was wrong. There is another book that's creepier, and that's The Beauty of Horror too. So you'll notice from the cover that it's got these beautiful red foil highlights, which is a different effect from the cover that we've seen on the original Beauty of Horror book. And you can see that reflecting in the sunshine. Now, of course, you may notice if you're a regular viewer, that my voice sounds a bit horrific, and that's because I'm a little bit sick at the moment. So this is the raspy version of Beauty of Horror. So we've got a lovely fold-out cover, and just like the original book, there's things there to colour in, and then we've got this beautiful black matte cover with the lovely red printing on them, which is very creepy and very gorgeous. Now, what you may notice from me just holding it up is that this is very sturdy card cover. Sometimes you'll find the card cover is very flimsy. I've got to say that IDW, the publishers of this book and the original book, do really great quality luxury colouring books. And it's a pity, actually, they don't publish a few more because they're beautiful covers on the inside, the fold-out flaps, and the paper quality in their books is absolutely fantastic. Now, it's a medium to heavyweight paper, slightly off-white. Lovely little nameplate page there. And you'll immediately notice, if you've got the first one, that Juliana, the creepy girl as I like to call her, is back. And just even thinking about her just really gives me the creeps. I know I'm going to feel creepy after looking at this book because there's something about the story of it that just really stays with me. Now, it's interactive, so there are things here for you to find. And she's going to cast you under her spell. And believe you me, this book does cast you under a spell. I don't know what it is with it, but it sort of stays with you and you think about it when you're not even looking at it. So there is our lovely star, Juliana, and we can see all this really intricate and very detailed wallpaper in the background of these images. Now these are done by Alan Robert, who I've got to say is a real master artist. And he is known for his storytelling ability, and I think that's what makes this such a special book and the original one, because you'll often see horror colouring pages, but they don't have that sort of story, they don't have the context, and that makes them nice enough to colour, but it doesn't sort of stick with you the way the sort of imagery in this one does, because it's sort of cast in a story. You can imagine Juliana here thinking about what she's up to and plotting all her schemes. And the double pages always tend to lend to that storytelling view as well, so I think that does help. So we've got some skeletons here. We've got, of course, the obligatory creepy babies, which always give me the creeps. Worms coming out, losing its feathers so we can see the decay and turning into a skeleton that this book induces. But then it's contrasted with these lovely, whimsical poses of her in her lovely scenes with her batwing sleeves, but then with her ghoulish face. And of course these little skulls with the flames up here that sort of have the imagery of a laughing clown about them. So if we weren't creeped out enough, we've got a chocolate box full of treats here with the lovely decaying hand on there grabbing one. I don't think I would like that for a Valentine's Day gift. So for colorists, there's a lot of options here. You could, of course, colour things realistically, but you could have fun with different colours as well. You've got a little bunny mask on there. Sort of looks like a warped Alice in Wonderland, which that's really going to creep me out. Now, you will notice that some of the images do run up into the spine, When the book loosens up a little bit more, I think you'll have no trouble colouring in those areas. But at the moment, it's brand spanking new, and so we'll just have to give it a little bit of time to push down flat. You can see also that there's different colours of line art here. So we've got a darker black here up against a contrasting greyer black. And I'm pretty sure that this is intentional to show sort of background and foreground and to give you a different effect when it's coloured. Now some of these images, like this one up here right on the spine, probably could have been positioned a little bit better, maybe that way a little bit, but it is art and it's sort of always up to the artist how they portray these things. And you can see even with my little sick weak muscles at the moment, it is pushing down quite well, so bit more oomph on it and it should lay down flat. We've got some really great scenes in here that we can have a lot of fun colouring. So there's stonework, there's leaves, there's metal objects that we can colour. And a lot of these images are super consistent with what was in the first book too. So other than Guliana, it's really nice to have that flow. There's a lot of like metal work that we can do here, and of course skeletons and decaying, clothes. There's heaps of technique that we can use if we wanted to. Now if you do have a minor visual impairment, some of these images, because they're quite detailed, might be a little bit too difficult for you to colour. So what I would do is just like colour wash over them in like a solid colour rather than strain your eyes too much trying to do the itty bitty bits. So we've got all these lovely bottles here to colour in. And again, if you know colouring techniques and how to do the glass, you'll have a lot of fun with those. And again, if you do have a minor visual impairment, I wouldn't worry about colouring in the itty bitty bits here. I just sort of solidly colour over them. They look just as nice anyway sometimes, so I wouldn't strain your eyes trying to do all the itty bitty bits if your eyesight's not the best. Oh God, they're killer cupcakes. And Guliana with her ice cream and her little skull bow. I mean, she looks almost cute in that one. So we've got hugely detailed pictures here. And as most readers will know, you know, I'm not big on horror. And I don't find that many colouring books on the market, even though the ones that were marketed as sort of creepy, I don't really find them that creepy at all. But this one and the first one, even just thinking about them gives me the creeps because they seem to be so human, and Alan Robert has that real storytelling thing about him that makes these stick in your mind and makes you imagine what they're thinking and what they're up to. And just, you know, even imagery like this is going to give me nightmares. Ugh. This would be a great one to colour for your Halloween pics as well. So if you're looking for a Halloween book, you really can't get creepier. And this looks like an Ouija board. And this is just so creepy. The 3 dead children. It's quite macabre. And so if we're talking technique, there's lots of lovely little effects that you could do in here too. Metal and wood. Your lovely little stones. So lots of great images to try different techniques with. And you know, this whole part of having a hole dug for your body is just beyond creepy. Now on the Beauty of Horror webpage, there's also some coloured pictures so you can see what they look like by colourists colouring them in. You notice that this is like a darker black here. It's really strong line art. And this is leading into the section on where you can create your own creepiness. Now you could of course use these pages as well to test out your mediums and see how they'll react. Now I've seen some cute tester pages or colour palette pages in my time, but this one is really adorable. So we've got Guliana there and this lovely scroll work for our little colour palettes. So if you're looking for a scheme for like your skulls that you like to use, section of colours, you might choose, you know, one of these little scrolls to put your favourite little colours on there. And now this is the legend, of course, where we can find those things that we had to catch. And here at the end is Guliana's promise or threat to you that she'll be back. So I hope you enjoyed the Beauty of Horror 2. Great one to have on your list for Halloween. And just a great horror colouring book as well. They're beautifully made, they're beautifully presented. The paper in both of them is absolutely fabulous, and there's a lot of great attention to detail just with the way the books are presented. Until next time, happy colouring.